This is the Dewey Murphy Loar. It's a February 18th, 1924 Gibson Lloyd Loar mandolin. Dewey Murphy was an early bluegrass musician. He played around North Carolina. So like in the 40s, he played on the radio with his brother. I didn't know about Dewey until I played this mandolin. I met Kirk Sterland. He showed it to me and let me play it at the Fretboard Summit in Chicago. I came and visited him, and we've kind of been buddies and corresponding ever since then. I feel like old instruments can teach you a lot about tone. Normally when someone shows you a nice instrument, you might get to play it for like a couple tunes. So I felt like, being in the studio and just like recording with it would be a great way to get to know it. Kirk has a great studio. So I found some music buddy heroes, and we recorded old time tunes. We recorded one of Dewey Murphy's mandolin instrumentals on his mandolin. And I've never had the experience of playing someone's original tune on their instrument that they probably wrote that tune on, or at least recorded. I mean, that's just, I still don't really know how to think about that. I mean, there's like so much I don't know about this mandolin. This is probably going to spur me on to like go talk to more people who know more about it.
This mandolin was signed February 18th, 1924, and the signature on it is Lloyd Loar. When this mandolin came out of the factory, it was an interesting combination of features that were not consistent with the factory specifications for that day. In other words, out of all its batch, it was an outlier. The back and sides has factory specifications specifically to July 9 of 1923, with the binding oriented so that the black stripe is on the side instead of the top. That only happened in that one batch on July 9, 1923. The neck is a three-piece neck with an ebonized maple laminate in the middle. Gibson Cremona brown finish was put on it, and it was shipped. We don't know exactly where. I suspect it may have gone to D.E. Hartnett in New York City because it later surfaced in New York.
I'm Jerry Stewart, and you are?
I'm Daniel Ullum.
Nice. And I'm from Solar City originally, and been trying to play the mandolin since 1952. Still got a long ways to go.
Do you want to play this mandolin?
Sure.
So one of the reasons that we're here is because you've known this mandolin for a long time.
Dewey and I were both working for Western Electric in Burlington, North Carolina. We both, were mandolin players and got to know each other and both loved Bill Monroe. And he told me that he wanted to buy a new F5. And I told him I didn't think that would be the best choice, that the old F5 sounded much better than the new F5. I told him I knew of a man in New York City that dealt in those mandolins, and that his name was Harry West. And the company sent me to New York on business, and so I was overnight in the city and sat down in the hotel with the New York phone directory and tried to find Harry West. And I knew it was going to take several phone calls to find the one that might know something about an F5 mandolin, so I called and asked to speak to Lloyd Loar. And they all said, "You've got the wrong number," until I finally hit the right Harry West, and he said, "Why do you want to talk to him?" So I told him about my friend Dewey Murphy, who was in North Carolina and was looking for a mandolin. Dewey wound up trading, I think, the F12 to Harry, and Harry shipped him one of those F5s. They reached a level of being comfortable enough for Harry to put it in a box and ship it. And so Dewey called me and said, "Come over here, the mandolin has arrived." And so that was the first time I met your mandolin.